Hey guys, so in this video I want to show how strong Hellions are in early game and how you can transform a strong early game into a strong late game. So I start with a tier because I think that's a very strong start right now. So I find two Hellions. I think if you find Hellions early, you should pick them up most of the time because they're just really strong early game. And there's my cannon, so I'm like, hell yeah. I could think about the Trundle for going skirmishers because they're also pretty strong early. But I will get gold anyways, so I should pick him up. Oh, yeah, okay. So in this case, you should for sure not pre-level, even if you don't lose gold for it, because all my units are 1-star. I really want to find those 1-cost 2-stars. That's why I don't want to level, so my chance is higher to find those. I'm also not slamming item. I think there's just I want to wait until 2-2, and then I want to slam something. I find the shadow bow. It's very nice because I can make a shadow shift with it, which is just so good on Ziggs. I don't think I should have leveled here, but I think my thought there was I just want to win streak. So Shadow Shift is in my opinion stronger than normal Shift on Ziggs because he doesn't even have much attack damage, he just has a lot of attack speed. So it just really works perfectly with his kit. Yeah, and here just make gold. And I realized that 5 people play Hellions. So that was the second day of when the set came out, so I think I'm really mad about that the meta at that point because everyone plays Hellions and barely anything else can win streak early. So I have a rod and a sword, so I should be thinking about Morello in this case because Morello is really strong on cannon. And I have the sword for GA as well. Oh, nice, there's a Lulu. So I got all 5 Hellions. That's a big high roll. I could level now. Just put in 5 Hellions and take the free win. No, I'm not leveling. Let's see if I get away with it. Yeah, okay. I am getting away with it. But I think that was a mistake. I should have leveled to make sure I win. Because now I go with a win streak into neutrals, which is very big. It's very important to keep your streak, win or lose streak, into neutrals, because neutrals gives you the streak gold. No matter if it's a win or a loss streak, you get that bonus gold. Important with positioning is positioning cannon on the right side. Most of the time you want to be opposite side of the enemy carry. At least in the early game. Because cannon targets a unit close to him, and then he goes to the furthest away unit, which is in the early game usually just opposite corner. So now the decision is a little bit more hard. We have 2 swords and a glove. We could make Deathblade or Infinity Edge, but I think they're both really not good items for this comp. They might be good items if we pivot into something else later, but for now, I think they're pretty bad, so I should just not make anything. So now I could make a Drew Gauntlet or a Gunblade. I think I'm thinking about making the Gunblade, but I'm not doing it because usually units don't get onto Ziggs right now, so it's not really important. I think the only case for Gunblade for me at that moment was that I'm getting rid of those swords that I really don't need too much. I want 1 sword for GA, and the other sword, I don't know, I really don't need it. But of course there's worse items. I could play Karma now, because the Hellion fights, they tend to drag out for a long time, and Karma gets better the longer the fight is. But I think at this point, just 2 Ziggs are stronger because of the extra attack speed they get, and Ziggs just scales so well with attack speed because his base attack speed is so high. Plus he's the 2-star. So now at the moment I'm mainly just focusing on the chain vest to make a GA. Another option could be that I just take the belt for Ziggs or the tier. The tier works also pretty well on Lulu, because Lulu doesn't do damage, and then she just ults more often, and her ult is really, really impactful in this comp. So you see, most of my comp is 1-star. I just have 2-star Ziggs, and still I'm crushing everyone. That should show everyone how strong Hellions are right now. So I'm leveling to keeping up the win streak. I for sure want to go win streak into neutrals, and I just put in night buff. It buffs all my units, so it's nice. and it doesn't even cost me gold. So usually at 4-1 you want to roll down a lot of gold. In this case, I wouldn't roll down too much because I'm pretty stable. Lots of people roll down because they need to stabilize, especially if you lost a lot of health. But as you see, we're on a 9 win streak. We're not really losing much health. We should roll a little bit to keep up the win streak, but that's it. Let's see if I do it or not. Or if I decide, we can just lose. Yeah, I guess so. I'm just trying to get to level 8 fast and then roll. So the case for rolling now would be that I have Ken 1 star, I have Poppy 1 star, I have Colette 1 star and Lulu 1 star, and just finding those 2 stars would make my comp a lot stronger. But it's not that important to get those 2 stars in this comp, because you don't necessarily want to stay with Hellions in the super late game. You want to pivot away from it because they do scale off. I think at this point I just wanted to make a really strong tank, and Rod would have been maybe okay to make a strong carry for the late game, but I think my thought right here was I'm just trying to get level 8, get my legendaries. Doesn't really matter what kind of items, you just need to buy times for legend. Like if you have Heimerdinger, Volibear, Ivern, it doesn't, like, it's not that important which items you have. You just want to be healthy, and there's the Heimerdinger, nice. And in my opinion, Heimerdinger is just the strongest carry units, and he works with almost anything. So if I wanted to, I could transfer the Ziggs items on him. They work. Attack speed and AP, everything's nice. But I think at this point I still prefer it on the Ziggs because he has so much attack speed, and he's a 2 star. Yeah, you see, he even does more damage than Heimerdinger right now. And he does shred the magic resist also for Heimerdinger with that attack speed. Now look at those dance mechanics. Nice. He had free choice of what item I want, and I think I just went for the tier because it's always going to be impactful. Like, at least I ult faster. I could use it with a sword. I could use it with a glove. I could use it with the cloak. So it's pretty flexible. I could use it with a belt as well. And I could use it with attack speed, even though Shift is not too good late game, but it's still it's an okay item. So you take the Rel, gives me good buff, and Rel is just a really strong unit. It gives me Chevalier and Ironclad. I should have positioned better here. I should have put the Rel on the opposite side of my team. But I was lucky that I played against the melee champs, which all clumped up in front of me, so it did work. It stunned diagonally. Darius really doesn't work if you don't have an AD carry. Darius works really well with AD comps, and besides that, I don't think he's that good. I'm not doing much attack damage with my comp. I'm almost solely magic damage. Well, the Ziggs turret does some attack damage, but I'm just greeting for level 9. I want to get those. Yeah, see there, I'm rolling now. 5-1, good moment. Am I not taking Teemo? Go on. Yes. Take Teemo here. Hellion buff. Double tier on him. Yeah, and I think I should even sell Ziggs and transfer the items. Teemo has the... I think he has the same base attack speed as Ziggs. Maybe a little bit slower, I'm not sure. But for sure he has a very high base attack speed. So the Ziggs would... the Shiv would be nice on him. So he ults faster as well. Wow, and there's 4 invokers if I... No, 3 invokers if I want to. Nice, okay, finally I sold the Ziggs. And I sold... I put off that Poppy because I really want to transfer the items on someone else right now. Make a new super tank. Preferably I want it on a Garen or Volibear or something like this. Or maybe the Taric, but Taric usually doesn't want to go all the way in the front line. He wants to like be in a clump of units so he can heal them all and give them that buff. And now I decide to put it on Kled. So my game plan here should be that I'm trying to transform this whole comp into a legendary comp. So I don't need the Hellions late game. I think this is why at this point I'm putting the items on Kled, because I'm sure I will sell him. And right now he does have the Chevalier buff, which reduces the percentage of the damage he takes. So this is then really, really good. To put items on him. He will survive for a long, long time in frontline. And I just need to buy time. I'm really greeding this game, as you see. I'm still on 50 gold because I want to make sure I get first place. And there's no danger for me right now. I mean, I'm on 70 HP. Even if I lose, I wouldn't lose by much because my comp is so strong. So yeah, that's gonna be a loss, probably, yeah. But you see, I only lost 7 HP, not that important. Just want to get all the important legendaries 2-star for sure. Not taking any chances. Of course, you shouldn't do that if you have a lot less HP. You should push levels. You should then try to kick out the enemies faster so they can't scale. But if you want to ensure first place, yeah, you have to play greedy. Wow, that Ziggs does, that Teemo does damage. Wow. Looks like my enemies are playing greedy too. This guy has a Karma carry who's 1-star and he's at 50 gold. I think that's the reason why I can afford it. Israel? Ah, nice. See, I'm even selling the Lulu, which shows that I don't want to go Hellions late game. Teemo's nice, but besides that, I don't really need them anymore. Eventually. So now, since I have so much gold, I could just go for the memes, take the Teemo, and I'm doing it. Go for Teemo 3-star maybe, just for fun. It's obviously not the best choice in this case. The same, yeah. Well, Ivern might be the best choice, going for Ivern 3. Since that's very likely, but going Teemo 3 is just that's obviously not a good play. It's just a play for fun. So I could post on Reddit that 3-star Teemo. Wow, there I hit the volley bear. Now I'm also putting in the 2 Iverns. I think you can put in as many Iverns as you want. Usually Ivern is just so impactful. And this Ivern even has Invoker and Renewer buff. Renewer does a lot on him because he has so much mana. And it gives you a percentage of mana. And just his CC and the tankiness he provides for the team is so insane. He's, in my opinion, one of the strongest forecasts without items. Maybe the strongest forecast without items. Could be a case made for Diana, but she can change a lot in the fight if positioned right, and she can completely int if positioned wrong. But Ivern always changes something. Shouldn't have rolled down that much if I want to go Teemo 3. But I think at the same time, yeah, I just shouldn't have. Now I should. So game is pretty much over. This comp is so maxed out right now. There's 2 Iverns. There's the Heimerdinger 2. There's a Teemo 2 with really good items. There's a Volibear 2 with really good items. I'm like, no one can beat this comp. Wow. Did I even want to go for a second time or two? Sadly, I'm not getting the Teemo 3. That would have been really a story. Yeah, there I'm rolling just for fun because I know it's over. Like his comp can never beat mine. Even if he positions perfectly, that LeBlanc doesn't work against that many units. Eventually you just get chain CC'd and die very fast. Yeah, and that's it. That shows how OP Hellions are early game, and they just gave me that perfect late game where I got everything I wanted. I think this comp can't be beaten besides if you have like a 3-star 4-cost or 5-cost, because Heimerdinger is the strongest unit in my opinion right now, and then Volibear, and then probably Ivern. That combo is just so good, and I've had all of those 2 stars. My Teemo was even 2-star. I had 2 Iverns, and that Morello just burns the whole team. LeBlanc is really broken, but in super late game she just gets stunned, and this Rel is here still in there because he provides so much CC, and all those units, like both Iverns provide CC, that Nautilus still provides CC and tankiness. Taric gives tankiness to everyone, and Volibear provides an insane amount of CC. LeBlanc was positioned very nicely on my carry, and still she has no chance of getting through to that. She just can't kill, and Heimerdinger even had a GA. So thanks for watching. That was a very insane game I had, and it should just show that Hellions should not be skipped in the early game.